Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape recently, you know that the Detroit Lions have been one of the most intriguing teams heading into the 2025 season. And honestly, there's a lot of excitement around this team, especially after what they achieved last year. The Lions finished the regular season as one of the best teams in the league, showcasing a potent offense led by Goff, a solid defense, and a coaching staff that's been pushing all the right buttons under Dan Campbell's leadership. But as we all know, what happens in the regular season doesn't guarantee success in the playoffs. And last year, despite their impressive run, they hit a bump in the road, a tough loss in their first playoff game against the Washington Commanders. That loss left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, and now, with the offseason behind them, the question is, how do they come back stronger and more prepared for that big shot at the Super Bowl? The Lions are clearly hungry. You can see it in the way they've been approaching the offseason, making strategic moves, and staying aggressive in the trade market. They know that if they want to take that next step, actually getting through the playoffs, making deep runs, and finally clinching that coveted Lombardi trophy, they need to address some critical areas. One of those areas is their pass rush, an aspect of their game that, while solid, still needs that extra punch to really threaten opposing quarterbacks consistently. Aiden Hutchinson, the young star out of Michigan, has been fantastic. He's shown flashes of dominance, and his development has been a bright spot for Detroit. But let's be honest, even Hutchinson alone isn't enough to terrorize offenses week after week, especially when facing high-powered offenses in the playoffs. The Lions need more help on that front, and that's where rumors and trade talks start to heat up. And folks, here's where things get really interesting. There's a buzz about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the Lions' defensive line and perhaps their entire Super Bowl aspirations. According to Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox, the Lions are being linked to a very intriguing name, Kayvon Thibodeuax, the talented pass rusher from the New York Giants. Now I know what you're thinking, Thibodeuax, that's a bold move. But hear me out. This isn't just any player. Thibodeuax, at just 24 years old, has already shown flashes of brilliance, and if you look at his production over his 3 seasons in the league, it's pretty impressive. With the Giants, he played 12 games last season, racking up 28 tackles, 5 sacks, a forced fumble, and 2 passes defended. That's solid production for a young player still developing. And in his entire NFL career, spanning 43 games, Thibodeuax has accumulated 127 tackles, 21 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and 11 passes defended. Now, here's the kicker. Knox suggests that acquiring Thibodeuax could cost the Lions a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Yeah, that's an investment, but if you think about it, it might be exactly what Detroit needs to push them over the top. When you analyze his game, Thibodeuax is a relentless edge rusher, with the ability to beat tackles off the line and get to the quarterback quickly. His pass rushing skills could complement Hutchinson perfectly, creating a formidable duo that offenses would have a hard time containing. Imagine a front seven with Hutchinson and Thibodeuax rushing the passer. Offenses would have to scheme differently just to neutralize them. And let's not forget, the Lions have been building a pretty impressive defense overall, but adding a player like Thibodeuax could be the final piece to their championship puzzle. Now, the big question, will Detroit actually pursue this trade? Honestly, no one knows for sure yet. The NFL trade market is always unpredictable, and sometimes teams hold their cards close to the vest until the right moment. But if you look at the Lions' current roster and their strategic needs, making a move for Thibodeuax makes a lot of sense. They're in win-now mode, and they've got the draft capital to make a bold move. Plus, the Lions' defensive coaching staff has shown they're willing to develop young talent, so bringing in a player like Thibodeuax could be an immediate upgrade with long-term benefits. It's also worth noting that Thibodeuax has had his share of ups and downs in his NFL career, but his potential is undeniable. He's a player who has the raw talent and the motor to become a dominant edge. And with the Lions coaching staff, led by Dan Campbell, known for maximizing players' strengths and fostering a competitive environment, Thibodeuax could really thrive in Detroit. Plus, the Lions' defense is already on the rise, and adding a player like him could give them that extra edge to finally topple some of the league's best defenses. As fans, we all want to see our team make bold moves, especially when it comes to building a Super Bowl-caliber roster. Detroit has been knocking on the door for a few seasons now, and this offseason might be the one where they pull the trigger on a move that cements their status as serious contenders. Think about it. Adding a young, talented pass rusher like Thibodeuax, who's under contract for 2 more years, could give the Lions that much-needed boost on defense, especially in high-stakes games. It's a gamble, sure, but one that could pay off big time down the road. Now, diving a little deeper into the Lions' current situation, it's clear that their offense is pretty good, led by Goff, who has shown he can run this team efficiently. But as we saw last season, when the defense struggles to get pressure on the opposing quarterback, it can limit the team's chances of winning in the playoffs. That's why beefing up the pass rush is so critical. With Hutchinson's potential and the possible addition of Thibodeuax, Detroit could have one of the most fearsome defensive fronts in the league. They could disrupt passing lanes, force turnovers, and swing games in their favor. Looking ahead, the Lions aren't just interested in making a splash for the sake of it. They're very strategic. They want to build a team that not only competes now, but also sustains success for years to come. That's why adding young talent like Thibodeuax, who's still developing his game, makes perfect sense. It's a move that could pay dividends immediately and in the long term. Also, the Lions are smart. They're aware that the NFC North is evolving, with teams like the Packers, Vikings, and Bears all making moves to bolster their rosters. Detroit needs to stay aggressive and proactive if they want to maintain their position as division leaders and legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And let's not forget the coaching. Dan Campbell, with his fiery leadership style, knows how to motivate players and create a culture of winning. He's been building a team that's tough, disciplined, and hungry for success. Adding a player like Thibodeuax would not only improve their pass rush, but also send a message to the rest of the league that Detroit is serious about competing at the highest level. It's about creating a roster that can match the best in the league, especially when it comes to those crucial playoff moments. Now, fans, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Lions should go all in and pursue a trade for Kayvon Thibodeuax? Would you be willing to give up a second-round pick in 2026 for a player with his potential? Or do you think they should focus on developing their current roster and look for other ways to strengthen their defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Lions' future. We're all in this journey together, and whether it's through trades, drafts, or free agency, our goal is the same: to see Detroit lift that Lombardi Trophy once again. As we wrap up today's deep dive into this potential blockbuster move, remember that the Lions are always looking for ways to push forward. They're a team that's not afraid to make bold decisions if it means getting closer to their ultimate goal. The possibility of adding Thibodeuax is just one example of how aggressive they're willing to be. It's an exciting time for Lions fans, and whether or not this trade happens, one thing is for sure: Detroit is on the rise. And the 2025 season could be the year they finally break through that glass ceiling and make a real Super Bowl run. Stay tuned, because we'll be watching closely, bringing you all the latest updates, rumors, and analysis as the offseason unfolds. The Lions are aiming for greatness, and with the right moves, they might just get there. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe a trade for Kayvon Thibodeuax is the move that can push this team over the edge? Or do you think they should focus on other areas of improvement? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more insights about the Detroit Lions. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay with us as we follow every twist and turn of this exciting NFL offseason. The Lions are on the rise, and the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!